Look, we live in a world where a run on the banks can be caused by a tweet. Not reality, not what's actually going on, but the internet, social media, on the internet. Everything that's connected to the internet is hackable, period. Yes, there was a hurricane. Yes, it was a very interesting hurricane, and it definitely caused flooding. And yes, they've taken some refineries offline, and there's some fuel pipe situations going on. If you just read the news and just watched the mainstream media, you would think that we're going through the 70s again and there's going to be a fuel crisis. That's what you would think. Because everywhere you look, it's fear, 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 gas shortage, hoarding, people are freaking out. They've used the word fear in the headline more in the last week than I've seen in a really long time. And people are completely freaking out, but it doesn't match the actual supply. It's simply a matter of demand tipping the scale. But this has absolutely nothing to do with the actual supply of the gas. It has only to do with the manipulation of the media and then the replication of that through social media that's driving the hysteria. So the media scares everyone. Oh my gosh, there's going to be a shortage. The hurricane's so bad. You got to go get the gas. And everyone freaks out. They go get the gas. The lines go out the door and down the street. They tweet pictures of that stuff out. And then other people see it and go, oh my gosh, I better go get the gas. I mean, it's to the point today where I actually saw a story where they described it as no gas, signs of the apocalypse. There may be lots of signs of the apocalypse going on right now, but the no gas is not one of them. That is a sign that media manipulation and propaganda and fear porn works on large swaths of the population. That's what that's a sign of, and that's all.
Here's a question. So 0 to 10, 10 being a crisis, a fuel crisis in Texas, and 0 being no crisis. Where are we between 0 and 10? 10 being a crisis.
Can I use 1/2? In other words, 0.5 out of 10. And the only reason that I don't give it a 0 is, is it that because concern is so high, right? The crisis is not in the fuel supply. It's in people who are sitting there at a gas station. A traumatic experience for people that are waiting in long lines and really concerned about this. It's a 0 on an actual amount of gasoline scale, but you got to take account for the fact that there's a lot of people that are really feeling worried right now.
But it happens on the internet. That's where the shortage first happened. That's where the fear first happened, was the fear of the shortage on the internet, right? That's where it first happened. Then it trickles down into reality and it becomes real. That's how reality is being manipulated now, because now you have people freaking out. You have people getting into road rage incidents and being shot and killed. One of Aaron's mom's friends, because they all live in eastern Texas, he got up in someone's face at a red light after a traffic accident and they shot him and he's dead. People are completely losing it. There was a story in the Daily Mail about how at a Dallas 7-Eleven, 2 guys got in a fight over the gas and one man dumped gas into another man's car. That's the level that it's at now. And everywhere you look, fear over shortages, fear, fear, fear. I mean, that's what's driving everything, is people's fear. And what's driving their fear? The mainstream media and the social media. That's it. I mean, we went out last night because we live outside of Austin, and we just waited until the lines stopped, and then we went and got gas at like 1 a.m, and we ran into a trucker who was actually refueling one of the stations, because a lot of the stations had signs that said no gas. And we asked him what he thought. I mean, have you seen like really long lines today and just everybody's...
You gotta wait for that. Oh, to get there. So.
Do you think it's going to be like this for a while?
Yeah, maybe a couple of days.
Just a couple days?
Yeah.
Okay. Because if you read online, everybody's completely freaking out about it, and they're acting like it's the end of the world, but it doesn't seem like it would be. I mean, yeah, I didn't think so. Thank you very much. You have a good night, all right? And he said this is going to blow over in a couple of days because it has nothing to do with supply.
There are 230 million barrels of gasoline in storage in the United States, and it's just a logistics issue of getting that gasoline from those inventories to those gas stations, and that may take a couple, 3 days, which is that's how long it normally takes.
It's only this crazy demand. What's really interesting about this is that up until now, we've had such a supply, the gas prices have been pretty low. And what do you know it, back in July, right before all this happened, they were proclaiming that gas hasn't been this cheap in years. Actually, they were saying it hadn't been this cheap since 2005. So 12 years ago, that's how cheap the gas was. But what do you know it, now all of a sudden, bam, gas prices are hitting a new high for the year, and now they're jumping to a 2-year high, and they're saying it's going to continue to rise, and it has nothing to do again with supply. This just goes to show you how easily they are manipulating everybody through the mainstream media and the internet. Because the fear wasn't real until everyone made it real based on that information, not based on reality. And that's why I keep saying, if it's hooked to the internet, and that includes you, your mind, and your life, then it's hackable. There have been several videos I've done on this channel where I've gotten upset over things, and I was definitely being manipulated. No doubt about it. I don't even know at this point, looking back, if those were real stories or not. They could have been total hoaxes. But I got sucked in just like everybody else. That's how easy it is. If people would stop freaking out and believing everything the mainstream media tells them, this wouldn't even have probably happened at all, regardless of a couple of refineries being shut down. So I don't know how far they're going to take this, but if they continue to take this further, just know how manipulated this is. It has nothing to do with supply. People need to stop letting themselves be so manipulated into being afraid and then letting their fear drive their actions.